Welcome back to UK Knowledge Guru. In today's video, we will discuss how to apply for a defined certificate of sponsorship. How to apply for a defined COS based on a previous application. How to view and withdraw an application awaiting a decision. How to create and assign defined COS. How to view previously refused, withdrawn, or rejected applications. So to assign a COS, we need to go on workers screen on our sponsorship management system, and then we will select defined COS. So you have all these options, create and assign. Now, many applicants get confused that what is the difference between these two. So this is for undefined and this is for defined when the application is coming from outside the UK. Later on in this video, I will show you when you will apply for defined COS. When you will request the Home Office, they will ask you so many more documents. I'll show you in this video what documents they need. You will always have this option for help, which you can check. It says over here defined COS. Within defined COS, it gives you the option apply for defined COS. Apply for defined COS based on a previous request. View pending defined COS applications. Create and assign granted defined COS application. View refused defined COS application. Now from the apply for a defined COS screen, select apply for defined COS. Next, it will give you the option both fields are mandatory and must be completed before you choose next to continue. Now, which both fields we are talking about? One is category, the second one is number of COS. So we will select the category skilled worker, new hire, defined. Then after that, it will give you the option application for defined COS employment details screen where you have to mention all the details. So it also says you must give details of the job the migrant will undertake should they be granted leave to work in the UK. So you have work start date, work end date, migrant employment job title, job type, and then summary of job description. What will happen when you will put all these details? You won't be able to change them. So make sure you put them correct. So this is the example from the sponsorship management system. So we assigned the defined COS to the applicant and we got the job title sales supervisor, job type 7132, and we got the summary. Now this is all fixed. You can see that. On top, you can change the details. So you can only amend the address, town, zip codes. When you assigning the COS, make sure job title, job type, and summary of job description are correct. Also the salary. This is the new entrant example. So we have mentioned at the bottom that the applicant is from the new entrant. If you wanted to change later on, you cannot change this. And if this is very coming up from very difficult, then the applicant who will be applying for the skilled worker visa and he got an interview, he will get stuck. So for example, if it says that you will be doing the analysis, consultation, or strategy, you will building strategies, all these big words can be a big trouble for you afterwards for the applicant when applying for the skilled worker visa. Watch this video. I have explained and showed how the Home Office conduct interviews from the defined COS applicant. So next is you will put the summary of job description, gross salary, like I just showed in the example that how the salary should look like. Next one is also don't get confused with the net salary and gross salary. Over here the question mark is gross salary. So you do the calculations correctly. The minimum requirement is 38,700 or 30,960 if it's a new entrant for each, and then you have to select that job on client contract, summary of client contract, tick to confirm the job is eligible for job occupation code. Now let me explain you what job occupation code is. For that we will go on skilled work like gov.uk and look for skilled worker visa. Click on that, then you will have the option for jobs. So in the your job section you go down and you will look for the view the table of eligible jobs. Yeah, so this one will tell you the eligible jobs, and if you go down look for the going rates table. If you click on that, this will tell you the rates, like what will be the requirement for the rate. So for example, you can see that chief executive, the salary requirement is 84,100, the standard going rate. If anyone is coming from outside the UK, they need to pay standard going rate unless they are under 26. Now let me show you the confusion part. On skilled worker visa, you can be paid less, and that's where the confusion comes in. You go down, look for the view the immigration salary list. So view the immigration salary list is totally different thing. If anyone on the immigration salary list, because there is a question in the COS that it will ask like whether it's on immigration salary list or not. So this is the immigration salary list. It was updated on 8th of October 2024. Make sure you check before you apply. 37.5 hours. Now what is immigration salary list? So this is the only these job codes, and these are very like they are not like huge job codes. Like you will see that like manager, if you see the job codes, chemical scientist, biological scientist, humanist, graphics, multimedia designer, all jobs, and then you have artist, dancers. So this is the only list, and this just ends over here. 9119 fishing and other element agriculture. Make sure you don't tick skilled worker visa immigration salary list if it's not. So this is the question. Tick to confirm the job is an eligible occupation code. And next one is tick to confirm if the job is on the current shortage occupation list. Last one is give registration details if there is legal requirement for the migrant to be registered with professionals. So we are talking about GP, surgery, etc. Now from the application for defined COS confirmation screen, check the details are correct. So application for defined COS, category, skilled worker, new hires defined, number of CS 20, obviously you're requesting only one, start date, end date, job title. Then job type 1115, chief executive and senior officials. Summary of job description, we will mention that. Gross salary, like I just discussed. Job on client contract? No. Summary of client contract? Nothing. Tick to confirm the job is an eligible occupation code? Yes. Tick to confirm if the job is on the current shortage occupation list? No. Give registration detail if there is a legal requirement for migrant to be registered. Tick to certify maintenance for migrant and dependents. Now what is this means? If you tick yes, that means applicant coming from outside the UK don't need to show the balance in their bank account. That means that the company will look after them. If it's no, then they have to show the balance for themselves and for the dependents. Now this is the declaration part where it says read the declaration and tick the box to confirm that you have understood, agree with and with all the rules and terms and conditions you accepting everything. Here it also says the salary I will pay to any worker filling the job role of the COS must be paid at least the salary stated in the application unless I notify the Home Office of any changes to the salary. So you basically confirming the Home Office that you will do it. I agree to the terms and condition. Tick this box and click submit. After that, you will come to the screen application for defined COS submitted. It will give you the application request number. So the request number is over here. Category, skilled worker, new hire defined, number of COS 1, work date, start date, end date. And then you will hit OK. Now let's learn how to view and withdraw an application awaiting a decision. Many people ask this question from me that how can we withdraw an application because the applicant from India don't want to come. So how to do that? Let's start learning that. So for that, we will go back again on the SMS system, apply for defined COS page. At the bottom, you will see view application that are awaiting a decision. When you will click that, you will come to the page from the application that are awaiting decision screen. Select withdraw next to the appropriate application. So you have these applications which you have already done. So it all says application status pending. So what are they? So these are the request for the COS. So submission date, this was the date it was submitted. Request number, submitted by, route. So you have new hires defined. So because we are discussing that, these are the job codes. Number of COS requested 100. Application status pending. If you wanted to withdraw, you just click withdraw. The screen will only display applications that are pending a decision. So for example, the decision is not pending. Application that have been granted can be viewed on the granted application. On the applications which are already been withdrawn, refused or rejected can be viewed on the view previously refused, withdrawn or rejected application screen. Then from the withdraw application for the defined COS screen, select withdraw at the bottom, and if you want to cancel, you can cancel. Now let's learn how to create and assign COS. This is the most important part, and you should know that if you make mistakes, you have to withdraw the COS and you have to request another one. So this is the screen where you will end up, and then click granted applications, create and assign defined COS. Most of the people don't find this because they think that it's a granted application, but this is the option where you have to click, and at the bottom you can see create and assign defined COS. Previously we learned how to apply for defined COS. Now we are doing create and assign defined COS. You can only assign a defined COS if the Home Office has granted you the application. Any level 1 user can create and assign defined COS even if they did not submit the original application. From the granted application create and define COS screen, select the relevant radio button. So for example, you have the granted date. So this was the one when it was granted. Yeah. And you got granted like 100, number of COS was granted was 100. And this is the job type, route. So we have requested the COS earlier, and now we are looking for the granted application. So you can see at the right side, the application status is granted. The granted applications create and assign defined COS screen will also display details of previous granted defined COS. So for example, something which was like, you have requested before, as well as the defined COS that have reclaimed. So for example, you have used them as well. Defined COS expires to the minute 90 days after being granted. So you have only 90 days. Many people think that you will request COS and then they will assign after 6 months. That's not the case. You must assign a defined COS by use by date. Otherwise, you will be unable to assign it and you have to request again. You would click next. And from the granted application create and assign defined COS screen, review the application summary and select create. So see this request number of COS granted was 33, number of COS created 0, job type you have mentioned, and then these are the details. So now you will create. So what we are doing, we are creating and assigning a defined COS. So we will click create. You applied for more than one COS on the same application. You will need to repeat the steps that follows for each COS. The number of COS created will increase for each COS you assign. If the create button is not visible, for example, you have created maximum number or defined COS available. That's why it's not showing up. After that, you will come to this screen. From the create COS screen, you need to enter the details. It says field mark with the asterisk are mandatory and must be completed to assign the COS. Some optional field will become mandatory when associated field are populated. When assigning an ISC label COS, this is the important part I'll discuss because many people don't know what does this mean. So ISC stand for immigration skill charge. COS, the fees generated will match your organization circumstances. So for example, if your company is big, you need to pay more. If it's small, then it's less. Watch this video. I've showed what are the actual fees for the COS for skilled worker visa. I have explained everything in this video. For example, the small organization, the ISC will be calculated based on the low rate. If the ISC fee is charged at the incorrect rate, it is because the wrong fee was paid for your license application. So for example, you have requested, like your organization was huge, for example, ASDA, and then all of a sudden in next few years it goes down and you are small company, but you have applied for the large company. So you still pay more. It's £1,000 something you have to pay for the large. So make sure it's all correct. Now this is where the route you will select. Route skilled worker extension ISC exempt. Immigration skill charge exempt over here in this category. Personal information, name, family name, given, nationality, place of birth, country of birth, date, sex, country of residence. Then from the confirmation of Save COS screen, select assign. But you can see over here, it gives you the details. Amend, assign, link, delete, exit. So what assign means? Assign to pay for and assign the COS. This option will only be available if all mandatory fields in the COS have been completed. Once a COS has been assigned, it cannot be amended. Like I said so many times in this video, make sure you do it right first time. If you make mistake, you cannot amend. You can add a sponsor note. So if it's a name mistake, for example, you wanted to change the name or date of birth, you cannot do that. So it will show you the passport number, family name, given name, nationality, date of birth, work start date, work end. And then you have the option exit, link, assign, amend, delete. So when you will hit assign, it will assign the when you will hit assign, it will assign the COS. But if the assign button is unavailable or grayed out, that means you may not have completed all mandatory fields on the previous screen. So select amend to return and create COS screen like we have just done. And after that, when you will assign, we will hit that, it will give you the declaration. Yeah, I agree the terms and conditions, and you agree to the terms and conditions. Make sure it also says in the case of skilled worker route, the score is 70. You have scored the points and you know that you are doing it right. Then click assign COS. Then it will take you to the online payment screen, and over here you basically will be able to see the COS fees, immigration skill charge, total amount, and you will hit OK. You can pay by Visa, Visa debit, credit card, American Express, so you can pay by that as well. But make sure that your immigration skill charge showing up correct. For example, if it's exempt, it should not show over here. Now, when the immigration skill charge are exempt, it's exempt, for example, if the student is switching from student visa to skilled worker visa. That's the time when it will be exempt. And you will come to the page where it says on a single COS assigned screen, it says the reference number, the COS has been assigned. You should take a note of the COS number and then give the number to the migrant. Choose OK to continue. It also says some details over here. Read them. Route, skilled worker visa. So this is your COSs now. So it's a 6 year summary, like all your details, passport number, details like work start date, work end date, and then you will click OK. Now let's discuss the last part, which is how to view previously refused, withdrawn, rejected applications. Many people get confused on that. So this on the main page, you have this option, view previously refused, withdrawn, or rejected applications right at the bottom. Further, it says view application that you have withdrawn, view application that were not granted. So when you will click on this, you will be able to see submission date, request number, submission by, route, and in the end, you will be able to see decision date, application status, withdrawn. If the application status is rejected or refused, the decision date show the dates we the home office has decided the application. If the application status is withdrawn, then the decision date will show that the date you have withdrawn the application. So this is how it get interpreted. Hope this video will help you. If you have any questions regarding this video or any other video, feel free to contact me.